You know what makes football the most popular sport in the world? I'm talking about real football. The football that people play with their feet and not with their hands. You can call it soccer if you want. People love it mostly because of its simplicity. You can play football just using your socks. You put some papers inside your socks, make it round, and voila, you start playing football outside with your friends. You don't need a perfect pitch. You can play in a stone pitch. You can play in the park. You can play outside your yard, on the street, everywhere. It's very simple. And the rules also been very simple so far. Everybody can understand easily the football rules, the controversy behind it, the hand of God, the myth. Everything is beautiful about football. The fight with friends to find out if it was offside or not, because you don't have a referee and you have to referee the game yourself with your friends. The pace in which football is supposed to be played, it's very fast, 45 minutes, fast, and then you have the second half, 45 minutes. We don't have a lot of stoppage time in football. American football, for example, you stop literally after every 30 seconds for commercial break, for another rule that need to be applied. It's a mess, and the game is going to be on TV for more than 4 hours. And I know that I am exaggerating here, but you know what I'm trying to say. Keep it simple. That's what football, or the real football soccer, is all about. But it's becoming something in the past now because of introductions of new rules. And in this video, we're going to discuss more about the blue card and sin bins. Is that really important in football at the moment? Listen, I don't want to be accused of being a dinosaur. The world is changing. Sport in general is changing. With the new generation, they have 1,000 social media accounts. They don't have time to watch football for 90 minutes or 45 minutes non-stop because they have to get in certain account. So all they do is to check some highlights, check some statistics for 15 seconds and make up their opinions. So I'm all for reforming football, adapting football to the new generation. Otherwise, we're not going to have football fans in the future. We have to create entertainment around football to encourage the new generation to go to games or watch the games longer than what they are doing at the moment. Attention deficiency is a real disease in our society today. After 8 seconds, people tend to lose attention. That is another topic for another day. Right now, people are frustrated about the fast pace of changes when it comes to rules, laws, and regulations in football. There are people who are sitting in the office and all of a sudden they decide to change something out of the blue. And like I said, I don't want to be a dinosaur because some of the changes are very good and made football better. Back in the day, we didn't have subs. So if somebody got injured, you finish the game 10 against 11. And then they introduced the yellow card, red card, 3 subs. Now we have 5 subs. More recently, the goal line technology came to help football a lot because only the referee and the linesman couldn't really make such a decision. Look at the 2010 World Cup when Frank Lampard scored a clear goal, but it was ruled out because nobody could see what was going to happen. But with the goal line technology, you can see clearly if the goal crossed that line. And then we all were hopeful when they introduced the VAR to help referees, because there were so many injustices, and every football player said enough is enough. Now we want the technology to help us make correct decisions. Unfortunately, it opened another door for interpretation and taking more time to check and frustrate fans in stadiums and even people who are watching on TV. They are making more wrong decisions now with the VAR than without the VAR. And many people want to see the VAR out of the door because it's so confusing. It's taking too much time, and the referees have no decision to make at the moment because they have to depend on other people sitting in the office and making the wrong decisions. So we're still confused here. And then all of a sudden, we have to introduce sin bins and blue card. For what? If you haven't mastered the yellow card, the red card, the VAR, how are you going to introduce something else that will bring even more confusion in the sport? Basically, sin bins and blue card are going to allow the referee to take out players for 10 minutes and bring them back after the punishment is over. If you have 2 blue cards, you have a red card. And if you have a yellow card and a blue card, you have a red card. So it's so confusing and subjective when it comes to this kind of decisions. What's going to happen to a goalkeeper who gets a blue card? Are you going to make a change, put another goalkeeper in, and when 10 minutes is over, the previous goalkeeper can come back on the pitch? What is going to happen? I think it's opened the door to referees to abuse certain players that they don't like, and also certain teams that they don't like. I think the blue card and sin bins just giving the referees authority to get their revenge on players. But this is killing football too, because football is emotional. This is a game of emotions, and that makes it human. What makes football football is those little moments of emotions, those pushing and shoving, those colorful languages sometimes. I'm not condoning everything here, but you know what I mean. They are killing football at the moment. You can't do this and that. You can't take your shirt off. You can't. In conclusion, I would say football is dying. So many rules made in the office by the people who never played the game and who are there to protect their own interests. I'm all for change, but change that makes sense. And we are changing things very rapidly now for the sake of it. We have to improve rules, laws, and regulations that we have already before jumping to another confusing project.